Welcome to Three Count Commentaries. This is your host, MagMongoSlade. Let's talk about AEW Dynamite from August the 25th, 2021. The CM Punk Revival Tour continues. Next stop, Milwaukee. So, first match, Matt Hardy versus Orange Cassidy. And an absolute stellar contest. Yes, I said it was stellar. It was unbelievably stupid. Stellar. I can't believe this. You turn to this show saying to yourself, hey, CM Punk's back in the business. I want to see what kind of show he's joined. I heard all about his love for pro wrestling. I decided to see what's up. And then the first thing you see in the very first match, Matt Hardy and Orange Cassidy. Fake kicks to the leg, delete. Fake kick to the leg, delete. Fake kick to the leg. I'm just sitting here looking to myself like, yeah, I'm sure they're quaking in their boots in Stanford when you think about this shit being on TV. And I remember when people used to be so excited to see Matt Hardy. Remember when he jumped ship? What was it, May, June of last year? Everybody was so excited. Everybody loved Matt Hardy. He was going to be such a valuable asset to AEW. Now look at him. A year later, losing to Orange Cassidy. A guy who puts his hands in his pockets during a pinfall. A guy who, I'm not sure if it was on the crossbody or the DDT, broke his goddamn nose. Had Matt Hardy out there leaking like, I was about to say his wife. Yeah, I shouldn't say that. Well, his wife was in the business. His wife was in the business, but I'm not going to take it there. I actually like her. I like Matt Hardy's wife a lot more than other people do because she's fiercely loyal and fiercely protective of Matt. I owe that. She's owed respect for that. So I'm not going to do that. But this match, of course, was not good. There was money in the ring because Matt Hardy had money in his pockets. He threw it all over the place. Then Orange Cassidy took a $100 bill and put it in his pocket just for Matt Hardy to take it back later. Stupid. Malachi Black. So let's talk about this because apparently Brock Anderson is a main event guy. Malachi Black cuts this promo. Malachi Black cuts the promo and says that he agrees with Arn and that but he's going to give Malachi Black, he's going to give Brock Anderson a chance. He's going to come to the ring. He's going to allow Brock Anderson to come to the ring. They're going to ring the bell. Brock Anderson is going to leave the ring, get counted out, and then apologize to him. And if anything other than that happens, he's going to take it out on the entire Nightmare family. Later, Arn Anderson has a promo talking about his son. Said his son was in over his head and that his son, he would lay down and die for his son, and apparently his son is willing to lay down and die for him too. But he's not going to let his son got guts. His son got guts. And that he's going to be by his side. So they have this match, and it's positioned as being the main event. Pause. The first half of Dynamite is almost always okay. All right, because it's usually high energy. The crowd is into just about everything and everybody. And then there's like a wall. A wall, like boom. And then everything after that is kind of like middling. It's kind of stupid. It gets real dumb later in the later parts. Like they can do a decent job of a 1 hour show. A 2 hour show, they run out of energy real quick. And CM Punk being there ain't changed it. Okay? The first show back, they claimed it was a new era. Same shit. The first hour, second hour, come on, bro. Garbage. This being the main event, garbage. But let's continue. They have the match. You would think they would act out the scenario that Aleister Black had put together, that he would give Brock Anderson the opportunity to leave. Said Brock Anderson comes into the ring and he just goes right down and he takes Aleister Black down. I'm sorry, Malachi Black. He took him down. Landed some punches and everything. I'm just sitting here looking at this shit, thinking to myself, oh, okay. Okay. Guess we're going to have a match then. So then they have the match. Malachi Black's strikes in the corner looked really good. He was tagging him with some pretty heavy stuff in the body. The camera, it was some speed on that stuff too. I would have liked for them to change the camera angle a little bit so you could see it a little bit more clearly. because with the camera behind Brock, you can just see Malachi's arms moving. You can't see him making contact. So you missed the big, I think it was the big right hand that he threw at the end. You heard it, but you couldn't really see it because it was kind of obscured. Other than that, this match was nothing. He hits one black mask, and then he has the audacity to hook the leg. Arn Anderson comes into the ring. Well, they did do the spot where Malachi was trying to get Arn to throw in the towel, and Arn wouldn't do it. He refused to give up on his son. That was good. But he wasn't getting beaten down that badly. It wasn't like his head was almost getting ripped off. He wasn't bleeding and fucked over. Like, that would have been a perfect time if you're going to do some blading. That would have been a perfect time to blade somebody. To, just have Malachi back just beating them and beating them and beating them. And Brock can't answer. Like, he's just stumbling, trying to stand up, and he's bloody and blood's dripping all down his face. And Arn is just watching this. And Malachi Black looks at him like, you could stop this if you wanted to. In this situation, sure, Brock was getting beat up. But, it was all right. He was okay. Arn if he raised a tough son, he probably watched his son get into fights before, probably heard about him getting into fights before. This couldn't have been worse than that. They didn't sell me on it. Sorry, I wasn't sold. So, Black Mask, he pins him. Arn gets in the ring. Arn, Malachi Black goes against the chair. Arn says, you put the chair down, we'll fight. Malachi Black puts the chair down. He then tries to hit a Black Mask. Arn Anderson blocked it. He blocked it. A 76-year-old man blocked his kick. Then Arn kind of sells the kick. Like, he's smart. He's smart. He sold the power of the kick. He's like, damn, that kind of hurt my arm. Malachi Black hits him in the balls. Then hits him with a Black Mask. Took a good bump. Everybody's laughing at Arn. The crowd was chanting one more time after he kicked Brock. Malachi Black very smartly didn't do it again. He's supposed to be a heel. Then Big Shotty Lee Johnson comes running to the ring, and Malachi Black backs away. Bruh. Boy, I'm glad the show was over after that. I'm so glad the show was over after that, man. I couldn't take no more. I could not take no more. It was so dumb. Malachi Black looks cool. But whenever somebody, I remember I saw on Twitter right before I started recording the video that people were like, could you imagine Malachi Black saying, you're in over your head, Brock, and be talking to Brock Lesnar? And I thought about it like, this would not be nearly the same if he was talking to Brock Lesnar. I mean, look at the size of Brock Lesnar. You think Brock Lesnar would be curled up in the corner so Malachi Black can throw punches? Do you think, even if his kicks actually hurt and his strikes looked good, which they do, his strikes look good, it wouldn't have been, no, it'd have been Suplex City, and it would not have looked, it would not have looked this way at all. And him talking like that to Brock wouldn't even been believable from a storyline perspective, because as soon as Brock stepped to him, Malachi would have felt real little, real small. But I dig Malachi Black. I wish they would do something about where he's from. Like, he's from the Amsterdam, Netherlands. Like, why don't we just say he's from somewhere else? Parts unknown. Add some mystique to the character. I miss the days of people being from parts unknown. From the other side of the tracks. From Truth or Consequences, New Mexico. All right, so Chris Jericho comes out there. Chris Jericho's talking about he wants another match with MJF. Says that losing to MJF has been driving him crazy, despite the fact that everybody else is celebrating the best week in AEW history. And he says that, you know how this goes, Max. I'm going to keep attacking you. I'm going to keep harassing you until you give me another match. So I got a proposal for you. One final fight. If you beat me this time, my in-ring career will be over. I will go to commentary permanently. MJF comes out wearing a shirt that says MJF 3, Jericho 0. I like that nod, by the way. A little nostalgia nod for, those of you who remember when The Miz did it. Also when Jericho did it, of course. So then MJF accepts the challenge because he can beat, because tapping out Chris Jericho, while that's something that's cool, being the guy that retired Chris Jericho. Well, that's legendary, and he's looking to become a legend. And I wrote down, like, that's it. That's all. We don't have to do any labors this time. He don't have to strap anybody. I'm sorry, whip anybody with a strap. He doesn't have to do anything. All he had to do was put his career on the line. He didn't do that the first time. And then okay, they need to gimmick this, like having one more match, and it's just a plain old singles match that Jericho has to win, and Jericho is going to win. So you're paying for Jericho to see Jericho win at All Out. Now is there an off chance that Jericho could lose? I guess. What's the likelihood? Very little. Maybe Jericho feels like with CM Punk coming in and Daniel Bryan coming in, he doesn't need to wrestle anymore. I guess similar to, Cody felt like, with the Elite, I don't need to be the champion. I'm gonna leave the probably about a 5 to 10% chance of Jericho winning. Not very good though. I wasn't thrilled about that. I think that MJF needs to move on. He's been feuding with Jericho for a long time. So the Varsity Blondes and the Lucha Brothers. Varsity Blondes started talking about, well, you guys are family. We're family too, but family isn't just about blood. Well, whatever. Lucha Brothers win. The match was solid. I really don't have any complaints until they did botch a slingshot DDT spot. But I really don't have too many complaints about this match. It was actually just fairly competent. It was a competent match. After the match, though, things get a little bit weird. Jurassic Express and Varsity Blonde shake hands. The Young Bucks attack them, and then they together attack the Elite, which is the Young Bucks and the Good Brothers. Very little Young Bucks tonight, which is great. They showed a video package for Pac and Andrade, where Chavo says that Pac isn't as good as he thinks he is, and that both of you are good, but only one of you was great, and that's Andrade El Idolo. All right, solid, whatever. Nothing gained, nothing lost. Jamie Hayter versus Red Velvet. Jamie Hayter is very aggressive. That is very good. It's supposed to look like a fight. Her theme music is absolutely terrible. It's awful. The theme song that they gave to Jamie Hayter is not good. It is not good. Red Velvet is awful. She's awful at wrestling. She whiffed a drop kick. She completely missed her standing moonsault again. Look, Tony Khan takes such great pleasure in not really training his wrestlers. I mean, we went through that already. He thinks they're artists, and all artists needs to develop on their own. You can't train them in the basics, like making their shit look good. Why would you want to do that? You're killing their creative process. She looks awful, bro, and you're letting it happen. You're letting her be bad on TV. Think about that for a minute. Like, we always talk about how wrestlers, wasn't it Jay Cargill, like last week or 2 weeks ago, who was talking about how wrestling fans will make wrestlers, affect their mental health because of how they abuse them on Twitter and stuff like that. You don't think Red Velvet knows that there's like an account that collects all of her botches and that she's on there constantly, almost killing herself, that people are always talking about how bad she is? You think that, she doesn't see that? At some point, it's like me and my homeboys used to have a thing, right? If your breath stinks, you got a booger in your nose, your best friend will tell you, dude, go blow your nose. Dude, go brush your teeth. Here's some gum. It's your responsibility as your friend to make sure your friend is presentable and don't look bad, because not only do you not want to be seen with somebody who's that fucked up, but you wouldn't want your boy out there like that. That's all people are saying when they're criticizing AEW. Don't let your boy go out there like that. That's all we're saying. Stop letting Red Velvet go out there like that. If you're going to treat her like a jobber, which she is, and she's going to take all these huge bumps like she did with that ring apron, perfectly fine. She doesn't get any offense then, because her offense sucks. Take her off TV until she knows what the fuck she's doing. Thankfully, she hasn't hurt anybody, at least that I know of. But you gotta protect your people. You make them look bad. Not only do you make your company look bad, you make the individuals look bad. And then when they go online and they see people making fun of them, they're like, damn, I thought I was good. Everybody tells me I'm good. And then I go online and people are showing me that I fucking suck. You owe it to them to criticize their work and to train them to be better. You're fucking garbage, Tony Khan. Moving on. Well, that's not, you can't move on. I wish I could, but I can't. Chris Statlander came out there to help Red Velvet as they attacked her post-match. I don't know why they obsessed with beating up on Red Velvet. Who cares? The Dark Order is arguing about Hangman Page, Alex Reynolds. He's singing in the shower. I really miss you, my buddy. I really, really miss you, my friend. And then he goes off and starts talking about Evil Uno. Just because your name is Uno doesn't mean you're the leader of the Dark Order. I hope Bray Wyatt does come in. And I hope he does like a CM Punk and start beating these guys with sticks or something like that. Because they fucking garbage. Dark Order should have been done 8 months ago. I'm talking before Brody died. This action never really should have got off the ground. It really should have been. That goes back to what I was saying before. Why you let your boys go out there and look bad? That's another one. Why you let your boys go out there and look bad? CM Punk finally showed up. CM Punk showed up and he got to talk to Tony Schiavone. A noticeably smaller pop for this occasion. Noticeably smaller. Yes, it was still pretty good. But noticeably smaller pop from Milwaukee than it was from Chicago. And outside of milking the fan reaction, CM Punk didn't have anything to say. He didn't have anything to say. He said 3 things. I want to wrestle Darby Allin because he would have been my favorite wrestler if I was 15 years old. He's got heart. He's not the biggest. He's not the smallest. He's not the biggest. He's not the toughest. He's not the yada strongest. And I said to myself, you want to wrestle this guy because other people think he's a joke. Let's put it in full context. You want to wrestle Darby Allin to prove that Darby Allin is a good pro wrestler because Vince McMahon and people like him would not like somebody like Darby Allin. That is a bad reason to wrestle somebody. A bad reason to wrestle somebody. Now, it works for this audience. This audience, they're pigs at the trough when it comes to this kind of shit. But the average person is like, that's it? You want to prove that this guy's a good wrestler? Why the fuck do I care? And I know they're not reaching for the average guy. The average guy is just looking at this shit like CM Punk is small and he's picking on a smaller guy. Why do I care about this? The next thing he says, he's going to retire the voice of the voiceless because this place has a voice and it has people who listen to the fans. Okay, sure. Okay, go for it. Again, pigs to the trough. And then the third thing, of course, he teased Daniel Bryan by saying that's somebody else's shtick. You guys are going to have to be a little bit patient when it comes to them chanting yes. So, of course, don't question. Just consume more product and get excited for other products. They have already moved on from CM Punk, and now everybody's excited for Daniel Bryan. And, when Adam Cole comes in, it's going to be the exact same thing. Oh, he's so good. Then the next week, yeah, he's okay. Then it's like, hey, when is Bray Wyatt coming, or what we doing here? Are we they doing what's called chasing the dragon. It's like a heroin addict. Like a heroin addict is always chasing the first high. And so they constantly, every time they get high, they're trying to see if it's that high is going to match the first one. But it's never going to be the first time again. It's never going to be the first time again. That's what made the Rampage CM Punk thing so special, is because you were never going to see it again. It was never going to happen again. It can never happen again. It's not a question of whether CM Punk is over and going to get decent fan reactions. Of course he is. But is he going to get that deafening reaction he got in Chicago from making his re-debut into the wrestling business? No, that's never happening again. That's never happening again. Chasing the dragon. AEW's been doing it again and again and again. They've been doing it with all these signings. All these signings are supposed to be bigger than the last. They're constantly chasing when Moxley came out or when Jericho eventually signed on. And they've been able to hit it a couple of times. Like when Jericho initially signed on, it was a big deal. Then Kenny Omega came and they was like, yeah! And then they got a little bit of bump with Matt Hardy, and they got a little bit of bump with, Lance Archer, a little bit, they got the huge thing with Moxley. And then they waited, got a little bit of a thing with Andrade, a little bit of thing with Miro, a little bit of thing with With, then they got the huge high with CM Punk. That's like them taking a whole nother drug at that point. You done went from cocaine to crack at that point, right? And now they're itching. They're a week into CM Punk's return and they're already, they scratching. Like, when is that Daniel Bryan supposed to be there? When is he supposed to come in? When is Adam Cole coming? It's like, bro, what the fuck? Get it together. So the next thing, let's move on from CM Punk. Let's talk about Miro. Miro starts talking about, Fuego del Sol and how he signed a contract that he was not entitled to, and he forgives him because he's going to go after the original center, and that is Eddie Kingston. And then he says that Eddie Kingston, he's going to take Eddie Kingston, he's going to baptize him, aka drown him, and then he's going to he's going to drown this man. And he says, my wife will love me because I am the champion. And he says that bring me the Mad King before I burn this place to the ground. I love religious psycho Miro. I love this. This is great. He's actually proven to be a good signing for them because he's actually, doing something different, not, complaining about WWE all the time. He's doing something new. He's doing something that he was not doing in WWE. He's showing a side that he may have wanted to show and didn't have the opportunity to show. So that's good. 6-man tag. Darby Allin, Jon Moxley, and Eddie Kingston versus Cesar Bonini, Ryan Nemeth, and JD Drake. This was bad, man. This was bad. Okay, for starters, this match was way too long for the combatants that were in it. Then you had Avalon running from Sting. Ryan Nemeth got a chair, and he was in the ring beating the ring with the chair. For what purpose, we didn't get an answer to. We don't know why he was doing it. He was just doing it. There was people all over the place, people jumping all over the place. Darby Allin wins with the coffin drop, and they was like, is CM Punk going to feel the coffin drop? Is CM Punk going to get hit with the coffin drop? I'm like, I don't know, man. I couldn't tell you. I don't know. Does it matter, really? Who cares? So Darby Allin collecting wins so he can take the big L to CM Punk. And whatever. That ought to be fine. Everything is fine, y'all. Speaking of Jon Moxley a couple of weeks ago teased a match with Tanahashi. Hiroshi Tanahashi, I learned what his first name is now. So I almost always just call him Kanahashi. And and his opponent, he says, I got a FedEx back from Japan, one name on a contract, one man enough to fight me. Kojima. Satoshi Kojima. And he cuts his really good promo on Kojima about how he doesn't take it easy. When the bell rings, he's not going to respect him. He doesn't respect anybody when the bell rings. That he's going to be looking to squeeze his head off and looking to beat him to death and looking to end the legend of Satoshi Kojima. And I said to myself, okay, I like the promo. The match, though, I just saw Kojima in Impact. He didn't look very good. He was okay, but he didn't look very good. And Jon Moxley was like, I'm offended this crazy old man wants to fight me. I'm like, I am too. Kojima's name doesn't have that kind of value anymore. It really should just wrestle on Dynamite. Just wrestle on Dynamite. It's Kojima. Save the pay-per-view match for somebody big. If you can get Okada or Naito or somebody like that, cool. But a pay-per-view match for Kojima, I don't even think the New Japan marks are that excited about that. But I am underestimating the amount of markism in the marks these days. I definitely underrate them. I feel like I skipped something important. I did, because, I hadn't gotten there yet. I was just... All right, so the Bunny wants Ty Conti to join HFO because the Dark Orders are losers who are fighting each other. Then Ty Conti attacked her, and they cat fought in this, and I'm just like, this is not good. This ain't good. Moving on very quickly. Kenny Omega and Don Callis. Here's the thing, man. I love Don Callis' suit. That pink suit was tremendous. It was a show stealer. That pink suit was a show stealer. It's probably the most memorable thing I can remember on this show without my notes. It's how that suit looked. All right, so then Christian comes out. Christian has a video package showing a video package that shows Christian from the 90s and Don Callis. It went by so fast I really didn't get a chance to really dissect it. Anyway, Christian says this is his proof that Don Callis is a carny piece of shit because he got fired immediately after wrestling for Don Callis. Don Callis then says, well, if I'm a carny, then what about all of these other people who show favoritism to their family? You know, McMahon and Greg Vern Gagne and Bill Watts and everybody else, right? And and then they go back and forth, to which, you know, Christian says, I don't know what's sadder. The fact that you exploited 10-year-old Kenny Omega, or the fact that you're allowing the adult version of Kenny Omega still allowing it to happen. Kenny Omega grabs the microphone. You think you know me? You think you know me? Okay. He was also wearing a dragon on his shirt because, you know, last time he was wearing Chick Magnet and Cookie Monster on his shirt. So, again, chasing the dragon, chasing the next high, constantly, yay, with a big pop. And then in 2 weeks, it's like, hey, welcome. When is the next guy coming in? Eventually, he's going to get there. In any event, it ended in a fight. Because, of course, it ends in a fight. And then Kazarian must have dropped the kids off at soccer practice because he finally showed up to hunt elites. And then they ran away. Nothing matters. Nobody's worried about Frankie Kazarian. Nobody worried about you, Frankie Kazarian. By this time, man, I was tired. And then when it came on the next scene, I was just like, man, boy, TK didn't run out of ideas. The Gun Club versus the Factory. The Gun Club, Billy Gunn and his boys, versus QT Marshall, Nick Camarado, and Aaron Solo. I'm sure that was the three. I'm going to say as much about this match because Big Show was on commentary, being real embarrassing. So QT Marshall is jawing at Big Show. Don't you be talking to me, man. Don't you be talking to me. And Big Show takes his headset off. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Man, this is pain. And when QT turns around, he gets pinned by a distraction roll up. Oh, God. Billy Gunn wins a match on AEW Dynamite. Oh, boy. So, of course, that was the shits. It involved Big Show. It involved QT Marshall, who was like the George Costanza of AEW. You know, he's the shits. So the last segment we got to talk about is Dan Lambert. Dan Lambert comes out there and cuts the best promo, continues to cut the best promos in the world. Essentially saying that AEW fans want to see people who are like them. They want to see skinny kids who wrestle with their hands in his pockets, skateboard weirdos, and weak people want to see weak people. They don't want to see strong guys. They don't want to see tough guys. They don't want to be reminded of what they can't be. I love this promo. It was great. Only problem with this promo is he tried to put over Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page. He said, oh, the former MMA fighter, Scorpio Sky, and look at all of these crazy martial art things that Ethan Page can do. And I said to myself, I wouldn't give a fuck if he's a black belt in Bruce Lee Jiu-Jitsu. Ethan Page fucking sucks. And it's the same thing for Scorpio Sky. He fucking sucks. What happened to the MMA fighters? Where's Andrei Arlovsky? Where's Junior Dos Santos? Where are the tough guys at? These guys just lost to Sting. That guy, that judo master that you're trying to sell me, he got beat up by a 4'8" half-dead midget. These guys are not tough. This is... No. Fuck. Man, they had to go and ruin Dan Lambert. They had to go and fuck it up. Dan Lambert had a good thing going. He had the MMA fighters. Everything was looking good. Then they had to go and say, oh, well, try to pass his heat to fucking Scorpio Sky. Goddamn Ethan Page. Ain't no way, man. Ain't no way. There's no... I don't know how you can get those guys over. Who would you have to put those guys with for them to be over? I don't know. It had to be stronger than Dan Lambert. You need drugs stronger than that. You're going to need a drug stronger than that. But AEW, man, you get like a solid hour of fine material. Some of it is shit. But The first hour is definitely better than the second. The second hour is real bad. Like real bad. Every week, it goes off a fucking cliff. The energy of the show comes down. The format of the show goes. Well, the CM Punk Revival Tour continues. Let's see let's see him try it again on Rampage. It'll probably be so much more interesting. They have not advertised CM Punk to be there, so he might not make an appearance. You know, who knows when he'll make his next appearance. I'm pretty sure they don't want to keep giving him appearances so he can say the same thing over and over again. I would like for them to do something where Darby Allin actually talks and tries to put some heat on this thing. Because other than that, I'm not really excited about that much on the All Out card. I'm not really even excited for CM Punk and Darby Allin. I'm just kind of interested. I'm more intrigued. The thing is, man, the average person does not want to see wrestling matches for the purchase of wrestling matches. They want to see wrestling matches as a resolution to a story. So when you tell me CM Punk is going to come out and he's going to wrestle he'll come out of retirement to have a match, it's like, what is so compelling that's going to bring CM Punk back from retirement? What is it about it that makes him want to come back? They have not told me that yet. It's like, I saw all of the young guys, and I want to help the young guys. And I'm thinking to myself, like, you can't do that from some other position? You have to get in the ring to do that? And that's what the average Joe is thinking. Is like, oh, CM Punk is coming back to wrestle. Like, okay, something bad must have happened. Did you attack his dog? Did you, he could have John Wicked it where somebody kicked his dog or something like that. He could have been like, I've been sitting on the bench long enough or something like that, or whatever the case may be. But just coming back to say, I want to have a match with this guy because I like him. It's like, what? I don't care about that. That ain't no heat. I don't, it's stupid. In any event, All Out got his own problems. We'll get to it when we get to it. All right, let me know what you guys think about Dynamite from August the 25th, 2021. Like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel. Donate to the channel. Make sure you subscribe, please, and hit the like button. Hit the like button. I get way more views than I get likes. I want them equal to a degree. Thank you guys for your time, and I'll talk to you guys later.
Skin tone, so why attach yourself and piggyback the wealth you didn't earn or lack yourself? I'm telling you to own up to your own success and failures. It's a reason why these